Retzev is Hebrew, and translated means continuous motion. But as with all things, head knowledge is not the same as operational knowledge. It's in this seemingly small difference that major misconceptions emerge. Retzev is most commonly referred to incorrectly as a combative theory or directive. The truth is, Retzev is a concept that urges the Krav Maga practitioner to utilize and harness the natural power in movement throughout both defensive and offensive initiatives within a self-defense techniques. Consider also another Hebrew term, stomp. It means not for nothing. In other words, everything you're doing within a Krav Maga or an effective self-defense technique should have a purpose directly linked to the objective. That is, to stop the attack and render the danger impotent. Thinking of Retzev in this way should shed some light on the concept. Retzev is, by extended definition, not ineffective motion no matter how continuous. Retzev is bound by the principles of Krav Maga and also by the concept of effectiveness as applied to an objective. In this case, to actively neutralize a threat. Keep this simple idea in mind as you think through the concept of Retzev. As students, we don't always consider the concept of Retzev because so much of the concept is already built into the Krav Maga system via the techniques. And the way the techniques unfold provides a sense of timing and fluidity that should be harnessed if possible. Retzev is, therefore, the continuous motion utilized in pursuit of a self-defense objective, preserving and harnessing balance, weight, power, and speed intuitively and naturally as the body is made to move to defeat a threat. Retzev in a vacuum might look something like a violent dance. Operationally, it is the optimization of movement to end violent conflict. Some major potential issues in optimizing Retzev include 1. The angle of attack and response that often dictates multiple movements from the same side prior to more optimized weight sharing between the feet from a more squared or advantageous position. 2. The distance of the attack that dictates from where the response occurs and how far the defender must move into the attacker to achieve a control position or other objective. 3. The height of the attack and the required response, moving the defender's platforms in various and perhaps suboptimal ways prior to more optimized weight sharing between the feet from a more squared or advantageous position. 4. Where the weight in the feet and in the body is located as a threat develops and demands a response. And 5. The attacker's response to the defender's initiatives, including but not limited to physical resistance, countering with combatives and/or other violent actions, pinning or otherwise restricting the defender's movement and/or range of motion, pushing and/or pulling, and so on. Notice that as an attacker supplies some violence or force that negatively affects your platforms, meaning your shoulders, hips, ankles, and feet, your natural capacity to respond with Retzev is somewhat compromised due primarily to decreased strength, balance, leverage, and so on. Therefore, Retzev is rarely optimally produced when the outside force of an attacker is presented, but can be achieved at various, substantial levels and should be utilized whenever possible.